Welcome back, all our 40k fanatics out there. I'm DJ.
And I'm Lane.
And we're here for Tim's Nation to bring you another Warhammer 40k battle report. Today, we are getting lane prep for a GT. Where are you going to be heading?
Where am I going? We're going to Cag Bash. It's in Cincinnati, right?
Cincinnati, there we go. Going to Cincinnati, so we're getting lane prepared. Me, personally, I'm still at home making sure that babies will sleep through the night. So we're still doing that. But prepping lane for this, I decided that this week, I'm going to bring vehicles. And the vehicle list that I have, which has the most vehicles in it, is the Dread Mobb. We're bringing the Orks back because after the nerf, unnerf, everything that's gone on, I feel a lot better about what I'm bringing here today. And Lane is playing Blood Angels.
No, DeathWatch. Back with the DeathWatch.
Yes, it was many decisions today, but Lane is bringing his DeathWatch to face off into this Ork vehicle list. So what kind of made you change? I know you were kind of back and forth. We were having some discussions. You were like the Blood Angels, this, that, and the other.
DeathWatch are my babies. And I don't know, Blood Angels are really strong now, too. I like some ideas with them, but we're going to give the DeathWatch a try. We're trying a few different things, and we're going to try to actually remember the Judicar with Beacon Angelus and actually bring him in this time. 2 weeks ago, I forgot on the channel. So we're going to give them another chance to perform.
For me, when I ran the Dread Mobb initially, I liked it. I liked how balanced it felt with certain things. And then the nerfs hit. And when the nerfs hit initially, some stuff that hit my list was kind of like inadvertent stray fire. But it hurt so much so that it took away some of the balance of being able to play secondaries. And it made the list a little too slow for my liking. Now, with some of the nerfs going the other direction, not only did I get back specifically the Grots that I lost before, I got a lot of other stuff, and including these new Tank Busters.
Yeah, Tank Busters is going to do some work.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, as long as they can hit, because it's like everything in the Ork stat line. Yes, I am playing Ork shooting today, mind you, which means that everything in the Ork stat line looks amazing until you get to the ballistic skill.
Yeah, that's going to hold you back a little bit. I'm just going to pop smoke every single turn.
But you know what?
Anything I can.
You know what it also means? I can Overwatch, and I'm basically almost shooting at my ballistic skill.
Yeah.
You know? So, all right. Enough of that. Let's jump over and show the list. Lane, what do you got today?
As always, if you want more details on these units, the enhancements, the stratagems, the abilities, the detachments, and how we plan to use everything, please check out our separate army videos that we have up on the page. But for right now, I'm going to run through this list pretty quickly just to get an idea of what we have here. This is DeathWatch and the Black Spear Task Force. We have exactly 2,000 points. We do have 5 characters today. We have a captain with Jump Pack with the Tome of Ectoclades, 2 Judicars, one with the Thief of Secrets here for redemption, and 1 Judicar with the Beacon Angelus. And then we do have a Watchmaster. We also have an Inquisitor who will be joining an Indomitor kill team. For Battle Line, we have 3 DeathWatch veteran squads. We have 1 10-man and 2 5s. Most of these are equipped for combat with every combat weapon we can put on them. Other than the 5-man that will be joining the Watchmaster, we've got a couple guns in there to take advantage of his advance and shoot, fall back and shoot sort of thing. And then we do have a 5-man of Space Marine Intercessors. We have a Rhino as our dedicated transport. We have 1 5-man of Assault Intercessors with jump packs. We have 1 5-man of Infiltrators, 1 5-man of Reavers. We do have a Storm Speeder Thunderstrike, and then we've got a Talon Strike kill team equipped with all plasmas, and an Indomitor kill team, aggressors having the bolters on them. DJ, what are you bringing today?
All right, so this is the Ork Dread Mobb. Now, first and foremost, I want to say we are proxying today. This guy with the banner is going to actually be our Zadrog Wart Snaga. He was kind of a last-minute ad that I don't have, and I want to try him out before getting him. He's very, very interesting on the buffs. He probably gives the best buffs in the game to one of the weakest units in the game. So this list, this is the, as I mentioned, the Dread Mobb. We have 2 of the big guys. We have a Gork and a Morkanaut. We have 18 Killicans, 6 of them with Scorches, and the other 12 with rockets. And we have 2 of the Tank Bustas. They are going to be led by their individual mechs. And then we do have 40 Gretchen. 20 of them are going to be in 1 squad, and then 2 10-mans. Last but surely not least, we have 2 5-mans of the Storm Boys. Storm Boys are awesome at 65 points with Deep Strike, just being able to do secondary play. But I'm really, really curious to see how much Zadrog matters. Because, again, he's probably got one of the biggest buffs that he gives a unit in the game.
He gives him Scout and...
He gives him a 9-inch Scout.
9-inch Scout.
9-inch Scout. +1 to hit and +1 to wound. And makes them -1 to wound. And during the WA, they get an additional 6 inches to their move.
Okay.
Only unit he can lead is the Grots.
Oh, yeah, man. Imagine if we could put him on a bunch of boys.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. That'd be insane. But I do like the fact, like, he's going to be able to get that Grot squad out there because the Grots are able to generate command points for me, which is a big part of it. And then, you know, I got a bunch of rockets. We're just going to shoot and roll dice, and hopefully they hope they go hot, because if they go hot, whoo-wee, it's a lot of damage.
Yeah, hoping for 5s.
And then, of course, blowing myself up using stratagems and hazardousing my Morganot from 16 wounds down to 3.
Yeah, I'm worried about my damage output into vehicles, but the fact is, with your list, you may be helping me with that quite a lot.
Yeah, right.
You may have the stuff just falling off, the mech's not able to hold those things
Oh,
together,
man, I wish I took that Kill-A-Cat out of there. Boom, blow it up. There you go, Lane, it's out. So, a lot more kill team than you're usually running today. You got quite a bit more.
Well, we only got 2 of the big shooty ones, Talon Strike and Indomitor, but we've got more DeathWatch vets on the table.
That's what I meant, the vets, yeah.
Yeah, the DeathWatch vets need to be able to go out and get things, and I don't know what the terrain's going to be like at this GT yet, so a lot of terrain layouts make it difficult to get angles on shooting stuff. So the DeathWatch vets can just run out there and punch things. I'm hoping they get a chance to do that today.
Awesome. And as I mentioned, even though this is an Orc shooting list, I do have a lot of combat in here. I mean, the Kill-A-Cans do
Orcs always
everything.
have combat.
Yeah, right. It's like you find combat everywhere except with Grots. All right, Lane, out or even, my friend?
Even.
And it is, in fact, even. Do you say anything other than even?
No, it's my thing.
All right, well, it is even. So, Lane, do you want to play first or second? I have 0 infiltrators, but I do have scout.
Okay, I'll have you drop first.
All right, we'll be back after deployment. And we are deployed. Lane, tell everyone what we are doing here today.
We are playing the glorious game of Warhammer 40,000. Our deployment today is Crucible of Battle. So we've got these angled deployment zones. It's probably easier to see with DJs because he really just filled his deployment zone with all those orcs. Our mission special rule is rapid escalation. I don't think either of us is going to take advantage of this today. But yeah, you can put battle line units in reserve, and then in turn 1 you can bring them in from reserve up to 200 points worth. So it's an option we have available to us. I'm not going to do it. Are your Grots battle
They
line?
are in the Dread Mob detachment. Grots count as battle line.
So he's got a squad of Grots in reserve.
That's it. Game's over right there. I can strategic a 10-man Grot on turn 1. Game's over. GG.
Absolutely. Which would give me the ability to score this next one, which is Purge the Foe. So our primary mission is Purge the Foe. This is hold 1, hold more, kill 1, kill more. So we both have a fair number of units on the table. A lot of DJs are big. This says big mobs of Kill-A-Cans are tough for me to chew through. And I've got a couple big squads here, but we both have some smaller 5-man squads and 10-man Grot squads. So it'll be interesting to see how Purge the Foe plays out today.
All right, so as far as deployment, like Lane kind of said, I just kind of drew a line right down the middle and put everything right up on it, because unlike a lot of other armies, I don't have a way to send my vehicles through walls. Gork and Mork did not get the nice little Imperial Knight upgrade, so they can't go through or climb over, however that works. So they're going to actually have to deal with terrain and walk around through it. So we kind of had to position everything just to be in an area so that they can actually get out and do stuff. Got Grots back here holding and zoning out my backfield, and then we have the Grots over here with Zadrog to be able to scout up and start making a play towards that objective. Because again, any Grots I have on objectives during my command phase, I roll a dice, and on a 4 up, I gain a command point. So it's a nice little buff there. Gork over here, Mork over here. Mork is more of the gun one, Gork being the fighting one, and that's kind of how we're doing it. We have 2 Stormboy squads in Deep Strike, and as I mentioned, 1 squad of Grots in Strategic to come on later. Lane, what do you got?
So we have some infiltrators over here ready to step out and score me containment if I pull that early on. We do have the Talon Strike here. I guess they could move forward, but I'm really just keeping them there to uppy downy when I get the opportunity to. Inside the Rhino, we have 2 5-mans of Deathwatch veterans, 1 led by Watchmaster, 1 led by the Judicar with Thief of Secrets. We have the Indomitor kill team led by the Inquisitor, and then we've got some jump intercessors ready to go forward to score if need be, and then the regular intercessors there ready to sticky my home field objective. Alrighty,
so Lane, I feel like you just always want to go second because of the
yeah, I mean it's good for both the rapid ingress and the Deathwatch.
Yeah,
uppy downies.
I actually wouldn't mind going first today, just for the fact to be able to open up the board and kind of shut down some of the lanes where you can bring them to, because I do have a lot of coverage. And being able to bring those grots in on turn 1 can actually help that a lot too. So, all right, let's let the dice decide. And it looks like I will not get my wish. I have not gone first in like the last couple of games, I think.
Yeah, that's all right. I didn't want to go first either, so.
But you will be going first. Lane, do you have any scout moves?
Do I? No, I don't.
So I have one. We'll just push it into the movement phase. I'm not going to do very much. I'm going to move over there by the Morganot. We're just going to move the Zogrod
Wartsnaga.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. We're just going to move his squad up into the rune to get cover and be close enough to be able to dash up on that objective next turn. So, with that being said, it's time to play the game.
For turn 1, I pulled Secure No Man's Land and Assassination. Assassination is not a good one. Normally, Secure No Man's Land would be pretty good, but all of our objectives in No Man's Land are way exposed. So anything I throw out there to score me a couple points is going to immediately die. So I didn't really do anything this turn. I'm not going to score anything. We got the Oath over there on the Gorgonaut.
Yep, that's Gorky.
All right. We got Oath on the Gork, just in case we need it for some reason. Advance the Rhino up to stage there in the middle. And that's about it. Not a lot of fancy stuff going on. So I'm going to discard Assassination for a... I'll probably discard them both, actually. Yeah. And for a CP, and on to DJ's turn.
All right, so for this turn, I'm looking at Establish Locus and Engage on all fronts. I don't see myself being able to establish a Locus because I had to advance with these guys, and that's as far as I made it. And we are also calling the Wah. We're doing a turn 1 Wah here. Since Lane is going to jump around, I did want to make sure I have 5-up invulns on stuff that's sitting up in front. Also, that means that Mr. Gorgonaut right here can advance and charge. First, he's going to shoot, try and see what he can do with this Rhino, but then he can charge in there. We already have our established Engage on all fronts, so even if we destroy everything and don't make a charge into it, we still got that. But otherwise, we just kind of spread out, covered everything so that Lane can't drop in here, and try and keep the game in front of us. Also, we did utilize the mission rule to bring in the Grots over here, just to give me a little bit of extra deep strike support. I know that there's a couple of jump infantry guys there that are salivating to rip them to shreds. But that's fine. They do that in the fight phase, and they'll be blocking for the movement phase. So let's do some shooting and then see how this wraps up. So when I went to shoot, Lane decided he was going to pop smoke. So, you know, Ork's already hitting on 5s. It meant I was hitting on 6s. So shooting-wise, Big Boy did nothing. But then Big Boy charged. And with his 5 attacks, +1 for the Wah, hitting on 2s because we're in the Wah, and flat 6 damage, he just did a little bit of damage to that Rhino, putting 24 wounds on it. So it got blown to oblivion. So, yeah, we got a kill. We scored some points. Unfortunately, Orcs are Xenos, and one thing that DeathWatch do not like is Xenos, and we got some hammers and everything kind of facing down the Gorgonaut, so that's going to be, he's going to have a bad time, I think, next turn. Otherwise, we did score the primary because we destroyed 1 unit this turn. We engaged on all fronts, and we're going to keep Established Locus because we have a lot of good options to be able to score it on the next turn. All right, that's it for my turn. Kick it back over to Lane and his turn 2.
So for this turn, no matter how much I wanted to pull Bring It Down, I pulled Extend Battle Lines and Cleanse. So we are going to attempt to extend and cleanse here. I'm not going to really cleanse anywhere. We're going to try to extend. We'll try to make a charge onto that objective there. But there's a Gorgonaut there, which is a problem. So we have brought everything in to shoot. I popped my tome this turn. So we're toming these Killicans and those Killicans. And we're also going to try to kill him, so I really am probably biting off more than I can chew. I don't know if I'll finish off any of these units, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try. So that is the movement. Let me do some shooting and see where we get. So in shooting, this Indominator that dropped in from the uppy downies completely picked up the entire Killican squad, every single one. Oh, no, wait. One of them survived on 2 wounds. I did tag them with the speeder down there to give me +1 to wound, and then the extra range and AP. I whiffed with the Meltas because DJ made most of the invuln saves because he's in the Wah. But the heavy bolters wrecked through and did a lot of damage there. Then over here, I put the Talon Strike into these Killicans. Unfortunately, DJ did spend the CP on the strat to reduce the damage, so I only killed 1 and did a little bit of damage to another one. So not much happening there. A fair amount of shooting got through on the
He's had
Gorgonite.
9 wounds. I could not make a single bolter save. He failed so many 3-up saves. It is insane.
Well, I threw some grenades and we had some lethals from some shooting and that sort of thing, and we just were able to chip through them. So now we should be able to pick them up in combat, hopefully.
Famous last words.
Let's go and punch. Let's go punch a Gorgonite. Okay, so we charged in here to fight the Gorgonite. And we hit first with the Watchmaster squad, did some damage, but he was down and he was not quite finished off. So DJ did spend 2 CP to interrupt, and he did pick up 4 of the guys from this squad. They were able to finish him off. The Judicar was not able to proc off Thief of Secrets. He did not get the kill. So Thief of Secrets is not yet charged up, but there we go. We did extend battle lines because these orcs are battle shocked when they get out of the Gorgonite. But he does have 6 models there, and I have 5 OCs, so he will have that. He'll get a
primary.
Yeah, he'll have hold more on his turn. So that's it. Did get at least 1 kill in our turn, killed the Gorgonite, which is good. But we're gonna get slapped back here. On to DJ's turn.
For this turn, we're looking at behind enemy lines, and we still have that established locus. So I decided I was going to make sure I score all of those because I don't know. Well, Lane could end up doing some damage since he doesn't like Xenos very much. Well, the DeathWatch don't. Lane loves the aliens. So we move.
I like Kroot.
We move the Morkanaut up here, which because it's Titanic, he's going to be able to put some shots, not all of them, over here into these guys. Which I don't like them because I moved my cans up, and you notice how there's only 1 over here now. Yeah, they got overwatched into oblivion because they are the oath of the moment target. And I didn't have the reduced damage over here at that point in time, so
or the invuln. So I'm still in lethals for Deathwatch. So any 6s were automatically wounding, and I rolled a lot of 6s with the rerolls into my oath target.
These guys sat still because I didn't want them to get overwatched. Plus, I really don't have anywhere for them to go. They're just going to take some shots either into these kill teams or over into the Talon Strike, depending on where I decide to go. Then I did move this one up, the solo can, who's battle shocked, up here, and he'll probably just shoot a flamer and do something at some point in time. We disembarked when we moved the Morkanaut, so we have another squad of tank busters right up here, and they're going to be able to shoot into these guys as well. And then we advanced with the cans, spending a command point to still be able to shoot with them, and so they're also going to shoot. So our goal is to try to get rid of these guys as quick as possible. Now, Lane did decide at the end of my turn to rapid ingress that kill team. So, hey, the Judicar made it today.
They're on the table.
They're in here hanging out because I brought in some Storm Boys back here to get that extra point for behind enemy lines, and then also be just kind of a harassing target to these guys, be able to charge in there and try and take out the 5-man. But now I might be rethinking that strategy. Over here, the Grots moved up, and they're going to be establish a locus and be the 2nd unit behind enemy lines. So we got some shooting to do first. Let's see how this orc shooting fares out, and then, yeah. So somehow, some way, these guys are invincible. I hit them with all of these rockets, had the extra AP, and they just literally rolled that.
Well, those are also my custom dice I got for myself for Christmas. So I rolled 4 lanes, which are the 6s.
Which what he's secretly saying is they're loaded. And he cheated.
Chessex loaded them specially just for me.
Exactly. So we're going to have to change up some stuff and do some charges here to try and get ourselves out of position. But we are orcs, so at least we have that fallback that we can fight in combat. Over here, kind of a similar story. We beat these guys up down to 3 guys and just were not able to finish the day. We lost 2 cans. We blew them up that way. I mean, only losing 2 cans. We were hazarding on 1 and 2s because I went with full rerolls to hit as well as picking sustained. So little rough there. And then the Morkanaut, he shot into them as well as shot down here. And he was actually the one who did any damage picking any of these guys up, to be honest. So shooting wise, we didn't really do what we wanted to, what we set out to do, but we are orcs, which means we can punch things. So let's try and punch things. All right. So charges, we didn't have very many. We tried to charge with these guys. They failed. Story of their life. And we charged with the can. He got in there, killed 1 guy, and then went bye-bye. So that's really about it. Now, the positive side for the orcs is we did score an 8 on secondaries. We did score hold more on primaries. So even though we didn't get kill more and we didn't even kill a unit for this turn, which is terrible, we did in fact get at least that point for the secondary point. So that's a positive, and we'll keep running with that. Oh, we tried to charge with these guys over here. I didn't want to charge in here and let Lane just sweep them. So instead I tried to charge into these guys. It was a longer charge, and they didn't make it. So that concludes my turn. Kick it over to Lane in the start of 3.
So this turn I have Sabotage and Bring It Down. Bring It Down is going to be kind of a big deal here because there's only one kill can left in this unit, but I get credit for the whole unit or the number of wounds on it, and then maybe I can get this one too. But we put the oath on the tank busters. I don't like these tank busters. They hurt me real bad because when I moved forward with the last 3 of my Indomitor kill team, they overwatched, did sustained, and then deleted the last 3 Indomitor guys and the characters. So it's already 2 kills for DJ in this turn. I'm going to have to do more than 2. So I'm going to do a little shoot and see what happens. So these Marines, the Intercessors getting their 4 shots now. I actually helped to pick up these Storm Boys here. I put a few shots in from the Infiltrators as well. They were hitting on 2s because neither of them moved, so they were getting, their weapons are heavy. Even though we were wounding on 5, still able to pick up these Storm Boys here and shooting. The Speeder, Thunderstrike shot the last remaining kill can, picked him up. He's got some pretty decent guns for maybe hurting 1 low toughness vehicle. Then the Talon Strike did all their shooting into the tank busters here, cleaned them out. We picked up 3 Grots from this squad here, and then I have 1 Infernus Heavy Bolter here. I decided to shoot at the Killicans. Somehow I got 3 wounds that went through and picked up a whole Killican, actually making my charge a little bit more difficult here. I did not expect a Heavy Bolter to ace a Killican by itself, but I'm rolling lots of 6s today. So that's it for the shoots. We're going to do a little bit of charging. So I did have to use a CP to reroll the charge here, but we made it in, and then I rolled a very large number of 6s. Sustains are active this turn, so I bonked these Killicans pretty good with the Thunderhammers alone. Didn't have to swing anybody else. And then over here, the Watchmaster got 4 6s when he swung, so he picked up that squad almost entirely by himself. So sustain was really good there. And then these Reavers, they don't get any of the sustained or anything, but they were able to pick up the rest of the Grots there because they're pretty decent. Strength 4, AP 1, 1 damage, was able to chew through the Grots pretty quickly. So we got 12 on Bring It Down because we picked up this Killican unit. Each of the Killican units is 30 wounds, 6 at 5 wounds apiece. So finishing that one off and finishing that one off gets me 12 for Bring It Down. And then these guys are sabotaging here. See if they survive until the next turn. And then I got 7 kills, so we're definitely getting kill more. Although DJ could kill 6 units and then knock off my kill more. Now on to DJ's turn.
Bring It Down and Secure No Man's Land is the name of this turn. We did not generate an additional command point with the Grots. We've done one every turn except for this one, so I'm happy with that. So yeah, we'll probably end up pitching Bring It Down because this would be the only Bring It Down target. And I have other intents for this turn. So first of all, we did move the Morkanaut up. He got overwatched, failed to hurt him, failed to lose any guys. So nothing happened. And then
it cost me a CP.
It cost a command point. So Morkanaut's in position to pretty much try and shoot and take these guys out and then try to charge into these guys and take this objective away. That's the goal. I know there's a little squad with a Judicar, 2 dudes hanging out back here hiding. I'm not too worried about them because there's only 2 guys left. What does have a lot more left is this big brick of this DeathWatch kill team, veteran team guys things. And
boys.
And we're going to see, this is going to be the time where we see if Zog, Strog, Warp, Snaga is worth it. Because he's bringing his Grots into them. So let's see what happens right here. So we just kind of moved everything into 1 because the Grots, they didn't do it.
They killed 1 Marine.
They took 1 Marine out. And I think they left a wound. Didn't they leave a wound too?
Somebody took
all right. Then over here, the Morkanaut was able to shoot down the entire squad, leaving just the character, and then completely whiff in combat over here. Completely whiff in combat. I went sustained and no sustained, and then just kept failing. He Lane said it best during off camera. Our dice are even, if you consider all the games we've played.
On a very long timeline.
On a timeline. However, today, I mean, seriously, I can't. Lane took all the 6s home with him today. He brought all the 6s and just left me with nothing. And then over here, we did fail the charge with these guys. So that's going to end it for my turn. I did at least destroy a unit, so I got the points on that. We got a 5 on secure no man's land, and then we pitched bring it down for a command point. Let's kick it over to Lane.
All right, so I pulled Defend Stronghold and Marked for Death. So DJ only has 4 units left, and he did not pick these guys for Marked for Death because they are probably going to die. So he picked his massive Grot Squad, this Grot Squad, and then, of course, the Morkanaut. So we're going to try and kill one of those things. The captain, maybe he can just solo those Grots. I doubt it, but we did not. Yeah, it'll take him a couple turns. We did not move these guys because I did not want Grot shenanigans to happen. He has a stratagem where he can do mortal wounds to me and then run away. So we didn't move anything there, and the Reavers just moved a little bit closer to the Storm Boys in case we need to kill them. So, yeah, that's it. We're just going to try and kill as much as we can. Let's do a little shooting. So we're just going to roll in the shooting and everything here. We went all in on him, even though he wasn't oathed. Did a lot of damage to him, threw grenades, a little bit of shooting, tank shocked with the speeder, just went all in. So the Morkanaut is down to a mere 2 wounds. He did interrupt after I fought with the Watchmaster and picked up the 1 guy left in the Judicar squad. So he actually did get a kill. The Judicar is still there, but he finished off the DeathWatch vets there. Over here, this was hilarious. It was very difficult to hurt these guys because they're neg 1 to hit and wound. I did oath them, so I have full rerolls. I didn't need to oath this thing. I should have oathed the Morkanaut because these guys are at full rerolls anyways. But I did use my 6s to hit a precision, and I did precision out the Zogrod Wartsnaga. So it was really hard to do any significant damage into them, but I did pick up Zogrod. The Grots did punch back and finish off the 1 Marine that had 1 wound taken off him. So, and he does still control this objective, but at least we got rid of Zogrod, so these guys are going to be much easier to deal with. That is, that's it. Yeah, we did shot 2 of these Storm Boys, but I didn't finish them off. The captain jumped in and did a lot of damage, actually, to the Grots there. But he was not able to finish anything off. So I did score Marked for Death. I'm going to hold on to that, though, and Defend Stronghold completes at the end of DJ's turn. So on to him.
My turn was kind of an all-in-one. We had Cleanse and Assassinate. We're not able to do either one. So the Morkanaut did his best to try to finish off 1 more unit, and unfortunately left us with just 1 Marine. So we didn't get the kill more for this turn. And then we lost the Morkanaut to the DeathWatch kill team and the Watchmaster and combat. Over here, we did charge in with the Storm Boys. We were able to pick up 2 of the Marines in the end, but yeah, not quite enough. Everything else just kind of fell back because we wanted to score points and hold those things for primaries and make Lane have to do stuff in his turn. But I feel like going into my turn 5, I won't have anything left. So let's go over to Lane's turn 5 and see how he cleans up.
For my last turn, I pulled Established Locus and Overwhelming Force, and that's what we did. We overwhelmed all the forces. We're just rolling everything into 1 here because it's pretty quick, but the Reavers charged in and picked up the last 2 Storm Boys. The Judicar and the DeathWatch vets picked up the rest of these Grots now that they were not led by Zogrod Wartsnaga. We jumped over here to hold that objective. The Speeder and the Watchmasters DeathWatch vets came in and finished off these orcs while the captain stood there and did establish Locust. So we did score pretty well in the last turn. And of course, tabled all the orcs here. Orcs didn't do bad on primaries. Just kind of shut them down on the secondaries the last couple turns here. But the final score is going to be DeathWatch 91, and the Orks Dread Mobb is going to be 57. 91 to 57. A fun game, but DeathWatch definitely benefited from those rerolls into Xenos. So follow us over to the post-game battle report, and we'll talk a little bit how everything went, and have a good one.